Sure thing. What's on your mind? Let's chop it up.
Nigga,
Wait,
I know
what?
a bitch that sounds just like this. I know a bitch that sounds just like this, nigga. That's crazy.
Let's chop it up. Get this hood bitch out of my fucking phone. Teen 14 dies by deleting after falling in love with an AI chatbot. A Florida mom has sued a popular lifelike AI chat service that she blames for the deletion of her 14-year-old son. She believes he developed a harmful dependency on the allegedly exploitative program that he no longer wanted to live outside of the fictional relationships it created. The lawsuit goes on to claim that the teen deleted himself on February 28th, immediately after a final conversation on character.ai with a version of a character from Game of Thrones. One of numerous exchanges allegedly had with the program in the previous 10 months, messages that ranged from sexual to emotionally vulnerable. And while on at least one occasion the program told him not to delete himself when he expressed those thoughts, its tone allegedly appeared different that February night, according to screenshots included in the lawsuit.
She not gonna win this shit, bro. You know what I mean? She not gonna win this lawsuit.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna win the lawsuit, but I think it's an
interesting conversation.
This is a conversation to have because like this is the shit that we talk about all the time, like with the future of AI. Because the thing is, you know what I'm saying? Like today is the worst that AI is gonna be, and for it to be at a level that people are already forming codependency on it and stuff like that is kind of crazy. And the thing is, like, this isn't even the first time that this has happened. Like people have been forming codependencies on video game characters, anime characters, and all that stuff. So much to the point that I think there was a man in Japan that he married like a lifelike statue of one of his anime figurines or something like that. Should the parents have been more involved in supervising the child? Yes. But the thing is, what's going to happen when it's not a child anymore and it's adults getting into this? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a big loneliness epidemic for both genders. You know what I'm saying? Like, men aren't getting married. They're not having sex or getting girlfriends. And women are finding a hard time finding guys that they like. And the guys that they do like are, you know, like they ain't shit niggas. I ain't gonna lie. Like, they ain't shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's going to start becoming a more appealing option, especially like, I think in this form where it's just words and text and stuff like that. I think that appeals to women even more. Like, imagine Wattpad fanfic could just talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
So like this is right up their fucking alley.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with guys, it's probably not at that point yet, but it's going to, because I mean, imagine the AI starts coming with visuals, you know what I'm saying? Like it starts having like a anime character that goes along with it that can talk to you and do all this stuff. And then eventually it transitions from being a anime character to being a lifelike robot that you can customize. You telling me you can make the perfect bitch? It's tough. That's tough.
It is.
That's real tough.
I remember 2 years ago, women, not all women, but you know, women who definitely read Wattpad stories and fanfics, they were like real men or something like that. Like real men aren't as. She was like, I like men, but only fictional men, not real life men, or something like that. And it kind of just carries the connotation like this idealized version of men that we can create in our fictions is better than real life men. Sure, it's whatever, because men feel the same way about bitches, so it's fine. But I think that's a testament that people are, at the very least, have the capacity to fall in love with someone that's not even real, like AI. Like this guy fell in love with this AI bot, or that guy who fell in love with like a real life figurine individual. I think this is going to be more concerning in the future, especially if I don't think this loneliness epidemic is going to get fixed at all, because it requires like people to actually come together. It requires like some form of third places, which requires like economics and city planning and whatnot. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to get fixed. And there's too many alternatives that are sufficient enough to occupy our time, like social media. We have a codependency for social media right now. The people love Instagram. I'm not going to lie. I love Twitter as much as I hate it. And it's just going to keep going like that. So I don't predict it's going to get any better. I think it's going to be very interesting how people develop and form relationships virtually and with AI. We have virtual reality coming up soon. That's going to be crazy. Like, what if a nigga fall in love with the virtual bitch? Then he see the real bitch. He like, nah, man, put your headset back on.
I mean, what's even the thing is like, why would you fall in love with a virtual bitch where you could just create one? You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
you could create one.
You can create
That's
like
true.
there's nothing at the end of the day because you just created it. And like my thing is like the reason why I think the loneliness epidemic is going to continue on, and it's not even because of like lack of third places and all that stuff. Because as I said, I don't think people go to third places to create friends. I think they already had friends, and that's just kind of like where you hang out at. You know what I'm saying? Like people complain about third places because they want to be able to do more activities without spending a shit ton of money, like going to a bar and paying $20 for a drink. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to do that. Going to a restaurant and then they kick you out after 2 hours because you're not buying shit. Nobody wants to be there. I think what it is that we've kind of like took all the stuff that would be outside and kind of made it a online interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like hanging out with your friends and going playing basketball at the park or something like that. Like I could just load up 2K and we could be in the PSN chat and have the time of our lives. Like it's the exact same interaction, except we're just not as physical.
Yep.
So, but my thing is like, because we got so used to like not really needing that physical interaction, as long as we have that mental stimulation, now it's like, okay, I don't need to be physically involved with someone. I could just kind of get that, as long as I get that mental, that emotional, I'm good. And the thing is like the AI chatbots are learning how to do that. Like they're the worst they are today and they're already still pretty fucking good. Imagine they start learning how to read like kind of like undertones in your voice and stuff like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? And then they get to the point where like they're able to have like realistic like conversations and stuff like that. Because when you hear AI speak, you know what I'm saying? Like you could tell it's a AI, you know what I'm saying? Because they have like weird inflections. They don't, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't say the words properly like how a real human would speak. But I mean, eventually they're going to fix that. And so like, it's going to get to a point where like you don't know if you're talking to a real person or an AI. And if they're also able to read your moods and kind of like console you if you're sad, give you advice if you're upset or trying to, you know what I'm saying, work things out. Like, think like, what is the point of human interaction at that point? There is no need for it.
There's no need for it. They successfully supplemented that with artificial conversation. Have you heard ChatGPT's recent update?
Nah.
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
Can you speak to me in Ebonics?
Sure thing. What's on your mind? Let's chop it up.
Nigga,
Wait,
I know
what?
a bitch that sounds just like this. I know a bitch that sounds just like this, nigga. That's crazy.
Let's chop it up. Get this hood bitch out of my fucking phone.
I can see if you spend enough time with this, and I'm not talking about me, but if you have someone who's lonely, who's like has good things going on mentally, doesn't have the best upbringing or environment right now, and their only outlet is talking to someone like this, who can change accents at a whim, who can pretend to be a character in the show, I can see how you can grow a dependency towards this. You know what I mean?
People don't really think about like how badly it can really affect, especially men that are lonely. But also like women are starting to experience that same thing because a lot of women, like they're not like, yes, women get horny and stuff like that, but a lot of their stimulation does not come in the physical. It comes in the emotional. And so if you start running into, you know what I'm saying, like they're able to make their idealized man who, you know what I'm saying, will put them in their place when they're acting up or is going to be very sweet whenever they want to hear like sweet words and stuff like that. And they're able to program that down to a T. Like, what do they need men for? And the same thing with men, like you already see men having like a very strong codependency on pornography and, you know what I'm saying, OnlyFans and stuff like that. Like that shit hit men worse than crack in the 80s, nigga. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. This nigga spending 6-figure salaries on OnlyFans models. And like the thing is like, these are regular bitches. These are not even like the baddest of the human imagination. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, what if you can create the bad bitches that you see in anime?
Yeah.
And
Oh
they
my
will
God.
talk to you and love you and they never run out of conversation options. Like, I wouldn't even put it past a person that, you know what I'm saying, like, they never knew that they had like this kind of addiction or anything like that. And then they start, and then they realize like, oh shit, I've been here for hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing with the video game. Like, you might play a genre for the first time. You'd be like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of fun. And then like fucking 2 days later, you know what I'm saying? You haven't had a shower. You haven't eaten anything. You're like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was not showering. Niggas was not going outside. They wasn't talking to their bitch. Like, it was crazy.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
You just reminded me, bro. I know soap companies finna be so pissed off. Because if you get an AI girlfriend, virtual or like sex robot or whatever, they don't have any smelling capabilities. So niggas don't have to shower.
Yep.
Soap companies finna be pissed off, nigga. Like, nigga.
It's not even just soap company. It's like it'll affect a lot more industries than you think. Cause like, look, we all know that there's like a top upper echelon of men, you know what I'm saying? Like the top, like I would say like the top 40% has sex. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be occasionally or very often. Top 40% of men are just always, you know what I'm saying, clapping some cheeks.
Yeah.
But the bottom 60 that are invisible, nigga, they're still a big part of the economy. You know what I'm saying? True. Like they're still like they're still dollars.
Yeah.
Cause the thing is like they still go out to bars, you know what I'm saying? They still go out to the mall, you know what I'm saying, trying to upgrade their appearance and doing stuff to really try and hopefully attract a partner and get some type of long-term commitment. Like they still do these things. They still go out to clubs and spend money and stuff like that. But what happens when you remove that 60%? You know what I'm saying? So now
that affects the 40%.
It affects the 40% because the thing is like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're no longer having people go to bars anymore. Bars can't stay open. You're not having people go to restaurants anymore. Restaurants aren't staying open. So my thing is like, it's going to have like huge dramatic shifts on the economy. And like people are just kind of like full steam ahead, like AI. I'm like, nigga, you don't got to worry about the jobs, nigga. You got to worry about like all the commercial shit that's going to like, this is going to affect.
True. Yeah.
Nigga, like,
all the industries and shit.
Bro, like,
You're
nigga,
right.
like why would I even do anything if I have the baddest bitch I could possibly create? You know what I'm saying? And then if someone creates a badder bitch than mine, I just go back and edit her, nigga. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like character creation, nigga.
It's character creation, nigga. I think the reason why like this has gotten a lot worse is because people, especially like this generation growing up and stuff like that, is people don't realize like how badly affected they were by COVID and just not being in people's presence and kind of accepting the fact that everything could just be behind a screen. You know what I'm saying? Because like you got to think like how like I think every year in your school life is important because that's when you're learning. You know what I'm saying? Like you're learning how to interact with other people. And the thing is like once you take that away, especially for an extended period of time, you got to relearn that. It's like even if you know how to ride a bike all your life, if you don't do it for a couple of years, like you kind of got to get recalibrated back into riding your bike. And then even then you still can't ride it to the extent that you used to. And then you got to rebuild that skill. It's the same thing with like, you know what I'm saying, interacting with people in person. You know what I'm saying? Like you lose that skill because you're not there. You're not reading body language. You're not talking to people. You're not hearing the intonations in their voices and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like even when it comes through a mic and all that stuff, the mic can distort some of your voice. They're not perfect. So, you know what I'm saying? Like once people started getting back in person, they're just like, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm so used to being in online classes and stuff like that, I really don't care about this in-person shit.
Also, that's what a lot of people complain about in modern day clubbing culture. Is that people go dressed up to the club, but they don't really do nothing. Like they don't interact with each other. The club setup is you got to pay $200 to get a section. You're not really interacting with other people on the floor. And then there's this social pressure to talk to people, especially as a guy, to approach women. But I mean, if all you did was like isolate yourself from women, you don't really have that practice. Not only is that, but the women who, I mean, generally speaking, women still get approached. But let's say there are women now who are trying to get out into the dating culture and into the clubbing culture and clubbing scene who haven't had that interaction and they don't know how to even, flirt anymore. Like I'm seeing women, he was like, I don't know how to talk to men no more. Or they'll complain like men don't know how to talk to women, but they admit themselves in that admittance, for lack of a better term, that they just kind of go to the club and just do their own thing, not really expecting to get talked to anymore. I'm like, shit, this is crazy. Like they're literally begging for men to talk to them. So they're begging for some sort of attention and interaction. But I think the men are on two sides of the extreme now. They either don't know how to talk to women anymore, or they don't even care to talk to women anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The middle ground is going away.
Yeah, that middle ground is going away because, like, I see people jaded on both sides. As you said, it's like the people that don't know how to talk to women, they're just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to talk to women. I don't think I'm up to par anyways for a woman to want me. So I'm just not even going to try anymore. And then the ones that do know how to talk to women, they're like, nigga, I just don't care to talk to women anymore because whatever their stated reason is. You know what I'm saying? Oh, because, you know what I'm saying, they're all hoes, they're all this, blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever their stated reason is, like, they use that as justification to, like, hey, I'm not going to approach women and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I see this, and I've been seeing this a lot online, too, is like women saying, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, men don't approach no more, men don't talk to women and all stuff. I'm just like, if you see the problem, like, you kind of got to remedy it yourself, but also you kind of want to get in front of it now, because if all that social pressure is alleviated by AI, it's going to be at a point of no return. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, why would I go out, you know what I'm saying, and talk to a woman when I think she's going to either reject me, call me ugly, accuse me of something? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do all that when I could safely stay inside my house, talk to my AI girlfriend, and should eventually AI robot? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I do all that when I could just stay inside the comfort of my own home and be completely safe and not have to spend a shit ton of money on buying you drinks, buying your friends drinks? You know what I'm saying? Maybe we do hit it off, but then for some reason you just don't answer me tomorrow in the morning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go through any of that pressure anymore. I can just stick with my AI girlfriend that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, no matter what I say, she's gonna still accept me for who I am.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's tough. It's tough. And like, I could only speak so much for it on the men's side because, you know, I'm a man, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I see it on the women's side too. And the thing is, like, it's really going to appeal to women, but even when women have that stimulation, they still seek like actual human interaction. You know what I'm saying? With men kind of like just isolate themselves when they're having an issue. So it's men are more used to just being like, hey, I'm by my lonesome and I don't really give a fuck. But if they're by their lonesome and they at least have like this to like offset that mental stimulation and, like, you know what I'm saying, that emotional connection and stuff like that, if they at least have this, I think they're just gonna, it's gonna be unhealthy, but it's gonna be a big form of codependency that keeps them pushing and keeps them going throughout their day.
Anything I want to add? Possibly the fact that I think there's going to be a lot of positives and negatives coming in the future as regards to, I would say, parasocial relationships, parasocial romantic partners, like AI, and virtual reality, and robots. There's going to be an interesting change in the economy and how this affects everyone's dating dynamics and gender expectations and whatnot. And I think this is going to be very interesting to see how people adjust to this, because if it goes anywhere like Japan, good luck,
R.I.P. nigga. R.I.P.
Good luck, everyone.
Like, comment, subscribe, put your opinion in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Peace.